Hello again, this is Litmus A. Freeman, and don't forget the A stands for anarchy in the true sense of the word. So we're back with Jen Luscombe and Andy Zempagan and the Dale on Holistic Radio with another special knowledge nugget, and this is part 6 of our special series on the gene keys, where Jen's been sharing her experience of working with the gene keys with us, and it's been great so far. I've loved it all. We've been using my chat as an example of how you can use your profiles in the same way to go deeper about your curriculum, as we're calling it, through on your journey through life. So Jen, yeah, we were talking at the end of part 5 about the lines. So this is the 3rd digit on your profile. You'll get, like, for example, 16.3 or something. And we've talked about the 16 bit, you know what that is, the gift and the shadow and the city. And we've looked at the Venus sequence and the Pearl sequence and all the rest of it. But we're just going to drill down a little bit now on the 3rd digit after the decimal point kind of thing on each sphere, on your 11 sphere free profile. And you're going to tell us a bit more about what those lines mean. And I kind of understand the correlation there with the I Ching hexagrams that you build up by throwing coins or sticks or whatever when you do the I Ching as a form of divination. But I guess with what Richard's doing with the Gene Key series, he's using that kind of idea, but it's generated from his program based on your birth details, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about the I Ching or human design, so I can't really comment on that. But I just know that they're systems that kind of do the same thing. They're just different, and they kind of run parallel to each other.
Okay.
So I've got to know the gene keys, but I haven't dipped into human design really or the I Ching.
Yeah, and I
Um,
know the I Ching, and I know how valuable that's been for me at certain times in my life. Um, we actually did a nugget about how I came across the I Ching the first time. The universe brought it to me, you know, in Australia when I had a $5 note in my pocket, and there was this book, a book in a bag in bucket in a shopping mall for $4.99, you know, about the I Ching, and it was just what I needed. So,
oh
you know,
wow.
we all get these things from in different times in different ways, depending where we are on our journey.
Yeah.
You know, and some people get tarot or astrology or alchemy or the gene keys or human design or whatever astrology, you know, whatever it is. But yeah, you've come at this 6-line thing through the gene keys. I kind of first found it through I Ching, and maybe other people have found it through human design. But irrespective of that, yeah, tell us what you understand how it works with the gene keys in particular.
Yeah, so the lines, if you look at your hologenetic profile, if you, for example, have got gene key 16, it will say 1, 6, and then there's a decimal point, and then it will say another digit, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So the 3rd digit after the decimal point on each of your spheres is the line. So I'm just going to kind of give an explanation for what those archetypes are, if you see what I mean. So this is about the how. So the lines in the gene keys represent the archetypal flavor or behavioral style through which a specific gene key expresses itself. So a line 1 would look quite different to a line 6, even if they were working on the same journey, if you see what I mean. So this basically acts as a bridge from personal internal focus to transpersonal collective focus. So if you think of line 1 as being more working on the personal stuff, and then line 6 working on collective stuff, these 6 lines define how you process experiences and your relationship style and your learning path generally. So the key themes of the 6 lines. So if you've got line 1s, that makes you the creator or investigator. So this is about inner foundation. So this focuses on security, introspection, and establishing a solid base. Line 2, this is the artist or the hermit. So I guess some of these are going to correspond to human design, because they
And
have
tarot by
20.
the sound of it, with the hermit in there.
Right, okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So line 2 is the artist, the hermit, inner projection. So this is expressing natural, effortless light, often needing solitude, but provoking talent in others. So that's interesting. Line 3, this is more about adaptation. So this is the explorer or the martyr. So there's kind of like, yeah, again, like this double aspect thing going on here. So the line 3 learns through trial and error, change and experience, highly resilient and dynamic. The line 4, so this is in a very general way that you can apply to all of them, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
The line 4 is the networker, the opportunist. This is about connection. So this is the line 4 spreads influence through friendliness, community, and networking. Line 5
Right,
is
and
the
line
lead.
5 is what I've got on my 16 IQ, right?
Right. Yeah. So line 5, in that aspect that you're looking at there, this makes you the leader or the heretic. That's funny how we almost were saying that before, weren't we? In regards to
Yeah.
practicality. So fixes problems, creates solutions, and communicates practical wisdom universally. That sounds very much like what you're doing with
Thank
your
you. I like that.
technology.
My
Yeah.
ego really likes that anyway.
Yeah, and the line 6, this is the visionary and the role model, in terms of observation. So this line 6 oversees, steps back to see the big picture, and works towards being an authentic, wise role model. Yeah, like I've got a
Um,
couple of line 6s in quite difficult shadows, but I think I've got different line. I've got 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s,
yeah.
2s,
I
I
remember you
think.
saying, I think Andy had quite a few 6s, and he's a good
Yeah,
role model for a lot of people,
yeah.
isn't he?
Yeah. So in certain aspects, I think lots of people have line 6s. It doesn't mean you're better than anybody else. It just means that you're. It's kind of all the other lines fit into that line. Yeah, kind of like a journey that you've already been on in
Okay.
some other
So
dimension.
if anyone's into astrology, it's a bit like Pisces then, having aspects of all of the previous 11 signs within it, as the
Yeah,
12th sign. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it could be
Instead,
that.
for any sort of musicians, I've got 2 line 6s, but that's a brand of guitar and guitar effects units, so that's completely
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. So, yeah, so understanding the lines in your profile. So the same line number may have a different specific kind of keynote depending on which sphere it is in, if you see what I mean. So this is like the context of that line. So if you go online and do research into your specific sphere that you're focusing on, there are literally millions of people out there making videos, doing podcasts about these exact things. So if you wanted someone else's spin on exactly what it is that you've got in your chart, so you could say, okay, I've got this shadow of what is it, indifference, and it's a line 5, and I've got it in my whatever it is, in my
Right.
evolution or in my life's work, or then there'll be somebody else out there who has worked on that specifically, and then they can give you a clue where to start. So yeah, each sphere there's a different, there's like a shift in context depending on where you've got that shadow, and obviously what line it is and where that's placed in terms of your life's work, your pearl, your culture, like wherever that is. And yeah, there's like, hang on, I'm just reading something here and trying to understand it at the same time. Unconscious versus conscious. So lines on your design side, right birth, are often seen by others, while personality, left, black lines are more conscious, but all 6 exist within you. I'm not sure that I understand that, but
Okay,
yeah.
well, that's fine. I mean, you said you're also going to share some material in the chat, right, about this line stuff.
Yeah, I think I will, but I'll have to go and find it. I'll find it afterwards and I'll share it.
Okay, it's probably a good memoir for the Nugget, so people want to look
Yeah,
into it in
yeah,
depth. They can read the material as well. Yeah.
yeah. But I think it's important to sort of reiterate that none of this is fixed. So none of this is about a fixed personality. It's about movement and healing and fluidity.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
so it's
It's a
not
journey.
about, yeah, it's not about having fixed personalities, but archetypal patterns for contemplation and growth. But in a general way, like lines 1 and 2 are indicating foundational. You're foundational in that aspect. Lines 3 and 4, you're interacting. It's about interaction at that level, kind of in the middle there, interacting with others around that specific focus. And
Okay,
then 5 and 6 is more about manifestation of that in this 6-line journey. So the lines move from a focus on personal empowerment, which is kind of like 1 to 3, to working with others and the world is 4 to 6.
got you.
Yeah, yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Okay. And
That's
that's interesting from an I Ching perspective as well, yeah, because with I Ching, you throw your 3 coins that build up your hexagram of broken or solid lines from the
yeah,
bottom up. So you start off with
mm,
line 1 is at the bottom, and then you go up to line 6 on the top.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. So that's about all I was really going to share because I wanted to keep it as general as I could. We could
Yeah.
look at some specific lines in yours or in mine if you want to look at how that is
Well, we've
working.
looked at yeah, that's not a bad idea. We looked at like we were we were looking at my IQ there, my 16 with a line 5. So perhaps we look at um what have we got? Have we got a different? Yeah, we got some lower ones. So what about one where it's I have got a line 1 here, the Pearl 51.1. What about looking at that one as an example of a? We've looked at a 5, which is higher up the thing and more in the world. How about we look at this 15.2 of fluorescence and magnetism and dullness?
Okay, yeah. So gene key 15. Um, I'm just
And
rustling
by the
off
way, the book,
remedy.
just remind us the title of the book you're referencing, because we did share it last time when we did parts 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, I was going to take a photo of it, wasn't I? It's called The Gene Keys: Embracing Your Higher Purpose.
Right. And
I'll
that's
just take.
by Richard Rudd, right?
Yeah,
Cool. So we'll share a pic of that if people want to get into it in more depth. I think I really do, I'm probably going to get that book. Um, I love stuff like this. So yeah, I, I've already got a much better understanding of it from doing these nuggets with you. So I'm interested to study more.
yeah, but that's what I was wanting to do really with these nuggets was to point people in the right direction because you really don't have to buy the book. Like if you're short of money or whatever, like you can just in any search engine ask. For example, you can get your free profile and then look at what it is your 11 spheres are, and then you can just go in any search engine and say, what's the repressive and reactive nature of this gene key, and then you'll find that information. Or you can, look at your lines and then say, what does it mean to have a line 3 in my evolution in this show? AI will tell you what other people have asked, and
I think that's great. Yeah, that information is freely available. But I'm a bit old school in that respect, that I like to have a book and get my hands on it and turn the pages and go back and forth and put post-its on it and line things and But
and
it's a bit like freely sharing something but accepting donations. I guess a lot of Richard's shared a lot of this stuff freely, but then it's nice now and again if people are into it, buy his book, and then he gets some return that way for his time, and effort, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's loads of different ways. Right, so what are we looking at?
15.2.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we looked at this one, didn't we, in one of the earlier nuggets. So this is in
not 0.2 so much, the line bit, did we?
Look at the line, yeah. So this is the gift of magnetism with the shadow of dullness and the city of fluorescence. So yeah, I basically see that as moving from dullness to blossoming. Fluorescence is a lovely word, isn't it? So basically moving from kind of not being inspired to being so inspired that you're literally flowering and blossoming. That's quite a journey. So line 2, I guess. This is about inner projection. The artist, the hermit, expressing natural, effortless light, often needing solitude, but provoking talent in others. Yeah, I can sort of see that. I can sort of see that in what you're doing.
Cool.
Because you have got an effortlessness about you, and you are expressing it in a very natural way, and you are on your own a lot, but you are also extremely sociable. Do you know what I mean? You've hermited, but you're creating as well. You are the artist, and you are the hermit.
Yeah, I like time on my own. But then I do like to go out and mingle in and share where I am with things. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that makes
Thanks.
sense to me.
Okay.
Do you want to look at another one?
Maybe that's enough for a nugget. I think the main thing is that people can pick it up from there and look at their own profiles, right? And they know what they'll have a better feel for what they're actually looking at then.
Yeah, and it's really, there's so much information here. This is like a lifelong journey. I mean, I've shared again the Gene Keys Golden Path sphere descriptions. It's just a screenshot, and you have to zoom into each bit, but it gives a little paragraph telling you what all these different circles on your hologenetic profile, what they mean. So, for example, your SQ, your IQ, your EQ, your culture, your life's work, like all these different spheres represent a different focus. So if you think about it, you've got it on each of your spheres. You've got the sphere itself, you've got the line, and you've got the gene key. It's so much. There's so much there.
Sure.
But I just wanted to do these nuggets in a way because so many people take one look at their hologenetic profile and then go, oh my God, I don't understand it, which is a bit like me with the birth chart, because
I was going to say, yeah.
It's a shame, isn't it, to be confused by the look of something and then not allow yourself to get into the magic that's underneath it all because it looks confusing. So yeah, I just wanted to break down that aspect because I've shared it so many times because I'm so enthusiastic about the gene keys because it's helped me a lot. I've shared it with so many people. It's quite addictive watching somebody unravel themselves in that way and finally get some sort of clear sense of direction. It is really about direction. It's
Yeah.
about being given the curriculum that you didn't know you had, you know. I love it.
Yeah, and I think a big part of your mission is to help others heal themselves, isn't it? So it makes sense that you get a kick out of seeing people pick this up and run with it and really benefit from it, you know?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
And in
yeah.
terms of the when you first see something, how confusing it appears or not, or how curious you are to figure out what it means or not, I think that just says a lot about what works for you, you know, because some people, yeah, you know, they'll look at a tarot deck and say, oh, I really want to figure out what that means. That looks really interesting, you know. And they'll look at a birth chart and go, oh my God, I'm not going to look at that. It's way too complicated, you know. So
Hmm.
I think part of this is just being drawn to the thing that you're naturally drawn to, and there is where you'll find your answers, you know, which are
Yeah,
actually within you anyway.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
reflects it back to you. Doesn't it? So
yeah.
thanks, Jen.
You're
I've really
welcome.
enjoyed these nuggets. Yeah, I certainly have a much better understanding of the gene keys now. So thanks for coming on and sharing all that stuff with us. Um, and obviously, if anyone's got any questions about any of the 6 parts we've done, you can drop us a message on Telegram, um, and we'll share whatever else we can. But yeah, Jen shared the screenshot again, explaining what the spheres are and a picture of the book now, right, Jen?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Ah, yes, I can see it there. And it's a well thumbed, well used book, I can say from first-hand experience. So
Yeah, I've spilt tea on it a few times.
yeah,
I've had to
practicing what
dry
you
it out
preach.
a few times from spillages, yeah.
So that's been great. So thanks, yeah, thanks again to Jen, the lovely Jen, and thanks to Andy, Zen Pagan of the Dale, of course, for all his support and his wonderful platform. And yeah, this is Litmus A Freeman. The A stands for anarchy in the true sense of the word. Hope you've enjoyed these special Gene Keys nuggets, but I'll be back soon with another knowledge nugget.